Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now, here's a guy who always wants to make good podcasts, supposedly, Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Big Brother Canada 3 update. And we have so much to get to here on a Friday night. Very fun show planned because we have here with us this woman, one of the stars for Big Brother Canada 2, here to tell us everything that's going on in Big Brother Canada 3. Please welcome Rachelle Diamond.
Hey, guys.
Rachelle, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Rob. How are yourself?
Okay, well, I'm very excited to talk to you because when I spoke with Netta a couple of weeks ago, I said to Netta, who else from Big Brother Canada 2 should I talk to? And she said, call Rachelle because Rachelle knows everything. She watches the live feeds. She knows everything that's going on. And she would be a fantastic guest on the podcast. So I'm very excited to have you on the podcast. No pressure.
Yeah, seriously. Well, thanks, Netta, for vouching for me. I will tell you that Peter Brown will text me and be like, so what's happening on the feeds? What's happening on the feeds? So I'm kind of the intel for the feeds lately. So I kind of know my stuff a little bit.
All right, so you are Peter's source for, you're his, you
I am his
him?
source. Yeah, he doesn't watch that much live feeds like all the time because he's busy with his filming sideshow and all that stuff. So I fill him in on the drama that he misses.
Well, how busy could you be to film Sideshow Network? Isn't that like one night a week?
Well, he has to film it. He has to plan all what he's gonna say. I don't know.
He has to write all his insults?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be talking to him soon enough on the podcast. Also joining us again here on the podcast, one of our live feed reporters, somebody who actually that he also texts Rachelle to find out what's going on in the live feed. Taryn Armstrong. Taryn, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rob.
Yes. Thank you. Good to have you here, and thanks for jumping in again and talking to us. So here we go, Rachelle. We are talking about a triple eviction. We have so much to talk about from the show on Wednesday night. We're in the midst of a perfect storm of reality TV. We got a million things going on. Rachelle, are you in the mix to show up on Survivor 31?
Am I in the mix?
Yes.
Yeah, you put me there and I'll be there. I think I do pretty well.
All right, vote for Rachelle for Survivor 31. Hashtag Team Fuzzy Peach.
Yes, put me on with Kevin.
All right. Also, this week I did my Big Brother Canada 3 exit interview with Kevin. Had a nice chat with Kevin. Rachelle, were you a Kevin fan?
I'm a Kevin fan, and I did listen to that interview you did.
He was very good, very good. We were supposed to get Kevin and Willow, but we ended up only getting Kevin. So I'm not sure if there's if Willow is too upset or what. But I've asked to try to get the other people eventually, but we'll see what happens. That being said, we will talk to the next person that kicked off Big Brother Canada this upcoming week as well. But here we are, here with Rachelle. We are live on robswebsite.com. We got the chat room going, hashtag RHAP, and then on our YouTube channel at robswebsite.com/YouTube. Getting ready. Busy Friday night. We're going to be covering The Amazing Race as well after this. That's going to be at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. All right, Rachelle, triple eviction, lots of fallout, lots of stuff going on. Was that the craziest one episode of Big Brother Canada of all time?
Yes. Well.
Crazier than when Topaz didn't vote for Gary?
I was going to say, I think that was the craziest moment. If you were in the house, if I couldn't imagine someone saying, oh, you have to put up 3 people. I'd be like, at that, it's so many people. It's never been done. I think that Britney did an amazing job, though, with her nominations.
Yeah. She's very upset about everything that was going on, Willow was. And then to have Bruno use the power of veto on Zach. That's really what my biggest thing that I'm confused about. Was that a good idea at all for Bruno to use the power of veto on Zach?
Okay, so originally when hearing this, I was like, Bruno, you are such an idiot. Like, why would you do that? Like, you literally handed Zach $100,000, right? But after thinking about it and kind of listening and looking on Twitter, I kind of see Bruno's point of view because at that time he thought that the girls were going to form a girls' alliance and that he would be the next to go. So he thought that if he kept Zach, they could somehow form a type of, not a formal boys' alliance, but he would be more safe by having Zach behind him. So, I mean, I do still think it's kind of done because if Zach left and somehow Bruno stayed, I mean, Bruno deserved the money. But now, I don't know, Zach, he pretty much handed Zach, in my opinion, the $100,000.
So you feel like Zach is back in the mix here as a real shot to win this thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think after, like, he's playing this game. I know he's not necessarily, like, a fan favorite or, like, people's picks to win, but you know what? He's playing the game, and at the end of the day, he deserves it. He's playing.
Okay. Karen, do you agree? Do you think that this was a good idea?
I absolutely think it was a good idea.
Oh.
If Kevin and Zach both go, he's absolutely right. The Ashley and Peely would have gone to Sarah and Britney. They would not have gone to Bruno, and he would have been completely outnumbered. Godfrey's not the most loyal guy, so I think he would have been next for sure. And he explained to Sarah that the reason he did it was because he either overheard or was told that she was suggesting to Britney before he won the veto to put him up as a replacement.
Rachelle, were you excited about the idea of an all-girls alliance taking shape in the Big Brother Canada house?
You know, it's always exciting to hear about, but as you know, when I was on Big Brother Canada, we tried to form a girls' alliance, and it didn't work, and I ended up sending home someone from my girls' alliance, which was Aika. So, I mean, these girls actually on this season are a lot nicer to each other, so it might have worked out. Our season, we had a lot of catty girls that just had bold opinions. But, you know, Girls Alliance, it's always exciting to people because it never usually works out.
Why do you think that Britney and Willow never were able to get along? It was almost like they had some sort of a love triangle with Sarah in the middle, and Sarah could only have one friend, and Britney wanted to take out Willow because she was her other friend. Well, why weren't the three of these women ever able to work together?
You know what? I think what happened is that Sarah and Britney got really close in the beginning, and Willow was just kind of not. Willow's a floater. She was all over the house, so she wasn't really close with Sarah. But then Sarah got super close with Willow, and I think Britney started seeing that and saw, oh, maybe like Sarah is going to take Willow to final two, which it did seem like Willow and Sarah were getting closer than Sarah and Britney near the end. So, I mean, I think Britney had the right to be worried, in my opinion.
Did you feel like Willow was coming on like she had a real shot to win this thing had she stayed?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, she didn't win any competitions, which you can win Big Brother if you don't win competitions, I guess. But she just didn't seem like we never really saw Willow's strategy. We never saw much of Willow. I know that sometimes, like for me, my true character didn't get portrayed on the show, so who knows? She could have been playing a little bit differently than we thought, but from what I saw and what I saw in the feeds, I don't really think she had a shot of winning. Maybe second place, but not winning.
All right, hold on. Taryn, do you agree with that on Willow?
She was starting to play a lot better. She was starting to play the field. Lots of people trusted her, but it depends on what she was planning on doing with Sarah. I think Sarah probably would have beat her in the end if she was planning on taking Sarah. But if her, Sarah, and Britney had gotten to the end and she had taken Britney, she definitely would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, Rachelle, I want to hear about your true character that we didn't get to see on the show. What was it? What didn't we get to see?
It's so funny. You could ask anyone from my cast, and they'd call me like they tell me I'm a totally different person. You know what? I think it was just that I was young. Well, I'm not young. I was 20 when I went on the show, and it's
and
a lot.
Now you're much older.
I'm 22 now, so
yes.
Yeah. And I think what happened was what they showed on the show was right before competitions when you're under stress, and I always just looked super boring or like. They didn't show my true personality, and I'm like the loudest person in the world, and I'm like, I think I'm funny. The rest of my cast thinks I'm funny. Like, they're like, who is this person? Like, so I guess, I don't know, I think the combination of the cameras and the stress and just like how they edited me, and also our season had a lot of really bold personalities, so I think if I was on this season, I would have been looked a lot crazier than compared to my season when we had Sabrina and Aika and like all these really bold, crazy girls, you know?
Karen, can you vouch for that from the live feeds? Is that true?
Sorry, was what true? My connection's a little bumpy right
That's fine. That Rachelle is a different person from the feeds than you saw on the show?
Um, yeah, I mean, she was pretty fun on the feeds.
Pretty fun, Rachelle. That doesn't sound that fun.
No, but like on the show, they literally put me as the most boring person. Like I
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. On the show, she was really like she barely got any airtime, and
Yeah.
she was definitely a much bigger personality on the feeds.
Okay, great.
was.
Well, Rachelle, since you are on the lookout for this now, who are some people that you're seeing on the live feeds that you feel like are very different than what we're seeing on the show?
Oh, good question. You know what? Like Ashley and Keely, in my opinion, are both pretty boring, and they're kind of boring on feeds too. So, but I don't want to judge because, as I said, like I was kind of like that in those two, so they could be totally different in real life, right?
Yeah.
On the feeds versus show, I mean, Kevin's diary rooms were very, very animated, and on the feeds, I mean, he's still an outgoing dude, but he's definitely not that animated.
Okay. All right, so we had this big triple eviction ended up happening. Of course, the Bobby thing we expected, but then I don't think anybody really had that Britney, Queen Bee, was going to become the HOH and knock two people out. Do you feel like Britney has a chance now, Rachelle?
Yeah, I do. Britney, I think, in my opinion, the fact that Britney's been on the block so many times as a pawn, if she makes it to the end, like, that's a pretty good thing to say because she's been on the block so many times, people have the opportunity to get her out, and she's still here. I mean, and then she won, and she had the opportunity, she took out one really big player, and Willow, and she did put up Zach, which is another big player, so it's like she has the balls, so I think that she does possibly have a chance, way more than I thought she would have at the beginning.
It's funny because with Britney, she basically has been kind of a non-factor in the game this week, except for the couple times that she was HOH, and all of a sudden she becomes HOH, and she's like kind of a gangster. Like, she took out, she was sort of like, just nobody was worried about her, and she was just a pawn, and then, she takes out Greg, and has this whole big, speech, and she does, and she's going to, like, set him up to take out a big player in the game. And then, everybody sort of forgets about her. All of a sudden, she's the pawn. Ken makes the whole big speech about how, sometimes the pawns in the game, they become the most powerful. You could be the queen bee. And I think it was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy with her. It was the wake-up call. Wake up, Canada!
Yeah, wake up. No, for sure. It was like he was foreshadowing what was going to happen because then she won and she won on like the biggest twist ever, and it was definitely a power. She got the power that week, and it was a big week to have the power, that's for sure.
Big week to have the power. And so she ends up making some nominees, and she puts up the two, big guns in the house in Zach and Kevin and puts them up with Keely. I think those were pretty good nominations. Do you agree?
I agree. The only thing that I questioned was her after Zach was taken off the block putting up Willow.
Yes. Okay. So then after Zach comes down, Bruno uses the power veto. Willow ends up going up. Did you think that was a questionable decision?
I mean, I originally when I was the first thing that pops into your mind, I thought, why didn't you put up Ashley? Because then at least you're breaking up both the showmances, right? That was everyone's thought, like, why wasn't Ashley put up? But at the same time, I mean, Britt had it out for Willow, and she knew, I think she had a pretty, she really thought that Sarah would take Willow to final two if they made it that far. So I think that's why she wanted Willow out.
Taryn, could you speak at all about the Britney versus Willow beef?
Britney, I don't think ever really liked Willow. It's something they never really got along from the beginning.
Why?
And so I'm not sure. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Britney didn't really get along with a few of the girls, and I don't think she liked that she was in the chop shop and that she never told anyone. So she wasn't happy with Sarah kind of reeling her in, and Willow didn't like Britney because Britney didn't like Willow, and Sarah did not try to mediate at all. She tried to play up the fact that she wasn't close to Willow and she wasn't close to Britney. So there was never really a uniting force.
Rachelle, there was that scene in the diary room on the TV show where Britney has to make a decision on who to put up on the block, and Sarah was in there, and Britney is, I think I want to put up Willow, and Sarah was not like at all like, no, 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 that's not a good idea. What about Godfrey? What about, what about Ashley? Or what about some of these other people in the house? She really didn't go to bat for Willow. Were you surprised by that?
You know what? I think that like was one of Sarah's biggest mistakes. I mean, she was like, yeah, this is what she said. She's like, yeah, like do what you want, like do what's best for your game. I won't be mad. Like if she really wanted Willow to stay, she should have voiced her opinion, and she kind of gave Britt the like go do it, and I won't be mad at you when she said that. And yeah, it was just very weird to me, and I think it was a mistake on her behalf for sure.
And then on top of that, then when she got to vote, she voted to keep Peely safe over Willow. Was that surprising?
Yeah, and Willow could have stayed, and like it was just like, why, Sarah? Why do you do these things? Like she is a smart. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, Sarah, you are so smart. Like she is very strategic at times. Then other times it's like in the moment. The times when she has to make things in the moment. It's like, what are you doing? Like, no. So it was just, I was very surprised by that and very confused.
Taryn, did you think that was a smart move for Sarah to vote to keep Peely safe?
No, not in any way. Like she was operating off bad information in the first place.
What would the votes have been if she would have voted to keep Willow safe?
It would have been 3 to keep Willow safe and 2 to keep. Or actually, I think she told Godfrey to also vote for Peely to be safe. So I think Godfrey was also planning on voting Willow to be safe. So it might have been 4 to 1.
Yeah.
So why did she do this?
She was convinced that the guys were going to keep Kevin, and I guess Willow went to Bruno and asked him if he was going to vote to keep her, and he said, "Give me a second, I need to think about it." And so then Willow came out crying and saying that she was going home. And then afterward, Bruno said, "Okay, I'm going to keep you, Willow." But I guess Sarah never got the memo.
Rachelle, is Sarah a good player?
I personally think Sarah's a good player. She has a side of her that's a bit too emotional, and that obviously gets in her game, like disrupts the game. But she is smart.
Wait, hold on. Are you just saying this because you want to use her employee discount?
No.
Is that true? Okay.
But she's smart. Like if you listen to her diary rooms, the things she says, and even like she's a smart girl. She's not dumb, but she does let her emotions get in the way of her decisions sometimes.
Okay. Taryn, what's your take on Sarah? She screwed her game up just now.
I really think she did, and she's a very smart person, but she's made really questionable decisions. She keeps voting out her allies over people that are allies with Bruno, like Godfrey voting out JP over Godfrey. JP was way more of an ally to her than Godfrey was. Getting out Kevin and Willow in this double eviction, I mean, both of them were going to work with her. She's so close to being there and being like good in a very good position, but she never quite like gets to that level.
I just feel like we're going to look back in a couple of weeks at this night of the triple eviction and look at the night that the women in the house just could have taken control of the game and just could have made a run with just all the women until the end. And we're going to look back to, like, and here's Bruno and Zach in the final 2, or Bruno and Zach and Godfrey in the final 3. And just wonder, boy, women really had a golden opportunity. Rachelle, do you think that that's a possibility?
I really think the girls were going to team up. Like, I was watching the feeds, like, the days prior to the triple eviction, and the girls were very, very close, all of them. And I think it was on the show where Ashley was spying on Zach and seeing what he was saying. Like, the girls were definitely starting to team up, and I think that they could have gone really far. But now, I mean, I just see it as Zach's going to go all the way, like, yeah, the strong boys. And honestly, like, with the girls left, like, who do you guys think is the most deserving girl to win, if you had to pick one?
Had to pick one of the women that's left in the house. I think I'd probably say between Sarah and Ashley, depending on what moves they make coming here down the stretch.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
What do you guys?
Or Peely. Or Peely. She's really impressed me this season.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't really. What has Ashley done so great that game wise?
I liked when she got mad at Zach the other night.
Yeah.
She's like, what did he say about her? That he was gonna dig into her?
Dig into her life.
Whoa.
He was gonna dig in to get information.
Wow.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm gonna talk to her, and she thought it was something else.
Yeah. She's like, what? Yeah. He's gonna dig into me. What? What? I'll teach him. Now, who does he think he is? Yeah. And then we have this big twist, of course. It wouldn't be Big Brother Canada 3 without the twisty twist. And this week, there's a twist involving the power of veto. Taryn, could you explain what this week's twist is?
All right, so Canada's going to vote for 2 players to be have-nots, and those 2 players will compete to get this special superpower, which is basically like a forced coup d'etat with some extra options. So you have to remove one nomination and replace that nomination right at the eviction, but you also have the option to replace both the nominations if you want.
Okay. Rachelle, do you like this twist?
It is. I like this twist, but I think it should have been done earlier because it almost logically doesn't make sense with this small of people. There's not even that many options. Well, because it's just confusing to me. But it is a cool twist, and it makes it so I voted personally for Britney and Sarah to have the power because I want them to put up big players. So, I mean, it does allow for that, which is obviously cool.
All right, Taryn, do you know what the wording is on this? Because I can see this being very confusing to viewers of the show. Because it's like, if the voting is, which 2 people do you want to see become have-nots this week? And then the fine print is because when they're in the have-not room, they'll have a chance to find the secret coup d'etat, which will shake up the house. It's almost like it's a punishment that you would vote in people you don't like, but then it ultimately ends up being something that's a net positive, so you should vote in somebody you do like.
Yeah, I have seen some people saying that they accidentally voted for the wrong people, sort of like what happened to Alyssa
Topaz.
in 15.
Yes. All right. So what do we know? I'm gonna bring in spoilers here just so we can talk about some of this stuff. All right. So I'm gonna hit the buzzer. Right. Do we know exactly who Canada has voted for, Taryn?
No, we don't yet. I think the voting is still open.
Okay, so the voting is still open. And Rachelle, so you're voting for Sarah and Britney to do it, and we'll ultimately find out what it's going to be. I'd love to know in the chat room if they know what the wording is, so we can see if it's going to be people are accidentally going to vote for people they don't like when it needs to be something that they do like. But let's just go over the House as it stands right now. Taryn, the current HOH is who?
Ashley.
Ashley. And who are her nominations for the week?
She nominated Sarah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sarah and Godfrey.
Sarah and Godfrey. And is that the target?
Sarah's the target.
Sarah is the target. Now, Rachelle, does this make any sense? Why are these we have more women on women crime?
Because they are listening to their ringleader, Zach.
Because Zach is saying get rid of the women.
Yeah, they think Sarah is a little snitch that run around. They don't trust her at all, so that's who they want to know.
I was so happy when I was watching Wednesday's show, and it looked like the 5 women in the house were going to get together, and yeah, it was going to be like the Black Widow Alliance, and they were all going to vote out all of those guys, and then Britney won HOH, and Kevin and Zach are sitting there up on the block, and it really looked like those 2 guys were going to go home, and it was just going to be Bruno and Godfrey in the house, and all that is just gone in like a puff of smoke.
Everything can change in a second in that house.
It really is. It was just like it was there for like a second, like a snowflake, and it just melted.
And I think those girls honestly could have done it. They're not catty girls, really. Like I think they could have pulled through.
They really could have. They really could have. Taryn, did you feel like it was going to go that way?
I absolutely did. Going into the triple eviction, I was saying, like, I think this is the opportunity that the girls are going to get together and they're going to wipe out the rest of the guys, because that's what's most likely going to happen in this triple eviction. But crazy circumstances made it not happen.
Yeah. So much crazy stuff going on. Let's bring in some questions here talking about this stuff. Leighton Jansen says, why did Bruno, Godfrey, and Zach vote to save Kevin? They've been talking about how the boys need to stick together. It doesn't make sense. So ultimately, Bruno, he votes. Who did Bruno vote to save? He voted to save.
He voted to save Willow.
Willow. And then Zach, he voted to save Pilar, right? No, he voted.
He also voted to save Willow.
He voted to save Willow. And Godfrey voted to save Peely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why did Godfrey not side with the guys?
So like I've heard that Sarah told Godfrey to vote for Peely to stay because she thought that she needed his vote to get her.
All right. So specifically, why did Zach not try to save Kevin?
Zach, I think knows. Or sorry, Rachelle can answer.
I think that he wanted to send out half the showmans. I mean, he's the other showmans, and I just think that he knew. He knew he had to get one of the showmances out of there.
But is that faulty logic? I mean, if you're one of the showmances, shouldn't you inherently want to keep the other showmances around? Like, isn't there more strength in being a pair of showmances than just one showmance, Rachelle?
I mean, it depends. They're both targets, obviously. So by keeping him in the house with Peely, I mean, he would have been another target, I guess. But ultimately, they were going to go after Zach and Ashley before they were going to go after Kevin and Peely, and he knew that. So I think he wanted to just get Kevin out of the house because he knows that Kevin's a strong player, too. I mean, Kevin can win those comps, so.
Taryn, did Zach have any knowledge that Kevin was, not minding if Zach got voted out of the house?
I don't think so. Based on Kevin targeting Bobby, he kind of started to realize, oh, Kevin's definitely out for himself. But I don't think he had gotten that far.
But did Kevin screw up in that he decided to not stick with the plan and then decided to go with his own agenda as HOH, and then that made Zach less inclined to keep him during the elimination vote?
I think 100%.
So, Rachelle, what do you think?
I think obviously, like, Kevin wasn't as he didn't listen to Zach's opinion as much as Zach wanted him to, because Zach wants everyone to just listen to everything. Like, it's just annoying. So I think that Zach was mad that Kevin didn't listen to all his opinions and that he just kind of did his own HOH, which he should have. So yeah, I think that Zach saw that Kevin wasn't 100% dedicated to him, and that kind of scared him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Taryn, do you agree with that? It was a factor.
I mean, I'm sure it was a factor, but it didn't matter anyway. Bruno wasn't going to vote to keep Kevin, and that may have also been a big factor. He knew that there was no point in trying to save Kevin.
And now Ashley, as the HOH, her nominations are going to get totally screwed up by this power of veto. At least one of them is going to get screwed up. So who do we think is going to be at least one of these replacement nominees, Rachelle?
I think Zach, if Sarah or Britney win, which I hope they will, I think they'll put up Zach and Bruno.
But does the HOH get to name the replacement nominees, or does the holder of the Twisto veto get to name the nominees?
There's been a lot of confusion with this, and even in my group chat with the Big Brother people, like, we're kind of a little bit confused with this twist because.
Wait, tell me about the group chat. So you have a group chat with other Big Brother contestants?
Yeah, like most of our season, it's like me, Allison, Arlie, Netta, John, Mumsy. I'm probably forgetting some people, but we have a big group chat and like we talk about mostly life, not even Big Brother. But we were sending voice notes today, trying to figure out this twist because there's so many different interpretations of like who can be put up. Like if it's just so confusing. Like, is the person that wins the veto and then the person that is the veto's used on, are they all safe? Like, if they're all safe, then there's only like 2 options of people to get put up. Like, it's very confusing.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
It's very confusing. Taryn, do you have any insight into this?
Okay, so to the best of my knowledge, the HOH is safe, the veto holder is safe. If the veto holder takes someone off the block, they would also be safe, and the person with the power will be doing the nominating of the replacement.
Okay.
That's all people are safe. There's hardly any options of people to put up. It's so silly.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're down to what, 7 people in the House, Taryn?
Yep, 7 people left.
7 people left in the House. So the 2 people so there's 1 person that's already on the block. The HOH is safe. So that would be then and then the person who has the veto is going to be safe. So ultimately that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's only 3 possible people that could go up in this spot, right? And if you change both of the nominees, there's only 2 out of 3 people are going to go up on the block this week.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
I know, that's why I said it should have been done earlier. It almost would make more sense because there's so little people.
Yes. Is Allison excited that her veto is back?
She's very excited.
Should we call it the Allison veto?
Allison Butt veto, yeah. She wishes that she was back in the House and it could be used on her, I'm sure. And she could save Arlie. We wish we could save Arlie.
Yes. Arlie's Angels are lots of regrets there.
Oh, so many regrets. Don't even get me.
All right, Just Mike TV says, is Sarah getting punished for talking to Godfrey in the middle of voting when they're being told not to? So, Rachelle, can you speak to this about how the contestants aren't allowed to talk during this voting when you guys are voting? And I guess she did. Is she getting punished for that?
I don't believe so. We never got told not to talk in the hallways.
Okay.
We wanted to, we could. We never got told not to. I mean, you usually don't. We usually do the hand signal just because we already know who we're voting. Sorry, my phone's ringing. There's nothing.
It's Allison.
It's Allison. There's nothing to talk about usually because you know who you're voting for. So, but there's no rules that you can't talk. Okay.
Taryn, have you heard anything about this?
I haven't heard anything about a punishment.
Okay. Okay. Let's take some more questions from Mr. XCX123. Hey, Rob / Rachelle Goddess / live feed correspondent. Do you guys think that the twist is being used as an apology to the fans for the fiasco of VetoGate? It seems very similar to both the veto options for the week that Johnny was evicted and Bruno did not use the veto.
I don't think so. I mean, they showed the secret power at the beginning of the show before the season even started. So I don't think it was planned just to an apology to the fans, but I mean, it does kind of make up for it because that was a flop. So. Okay.
All right. Let's take another one. This is from BDC Cam. How crazy is it that Clueless Peely, of all people, is ready to strike at Bruno, but Ashley is still completely brainwashed? She wants his head. Where do you think her hatred of Bruno came from? Rachelle?
I don't really know. She doesn't trust Bruno. I know that she doesn't trust Bruno at all. And so I can't remember the exact reason why she doesn't trust Bruno, but I remember her she was in the HOH bedroom and she was like, I don't trust him at all. Do you remember why, Taryn?
I don't think it was a particular reason, but he was Kevin's target and he was going after Kevin, and he saved Zach instead of Kevin, and kind of was supposed to seal both her and Kevin's fate. And so
that's why. Okay. Snappy asks, can you ask Rachelle if she thinks her game is similar to Ashley's game? If not, who?
My game, it's so hard to, for me to judge games. I mean, there's, the Arlo, Siobhan, and the Kevin. They're kind of similar. Maybe I'm a bit similar to Ashley because she's someone that I can see, but I honestly think, I know you guys probably don't think I played, more game than her, but I don't know, I was watching After Dark that day, I did talk game, I did talk a lot of game. I mean, Ashley talks a bit of game, but she just follows Zach. I mean, I wasn't behind a boy and following whatever the boy wanted me to do. I mean, I guess I kind of followed Sabrina, so it sounds good. It's easy to get manipulated in there. So I guess you could, if I was to compare myself with one person in the house, it would probably be Ashley, yeah.
Okay, Taryn, you think that's a fair comparison?
Yeah, I think Ashley has reminded me of Rochelle in the past. Just like
Oh,
they're both very pretty and they have kind of similar. They're very nice people.
Rochelle, look at you.
Oh, thank God. People have said that we look alike. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if I see that. Let's go to South Newton 1. It says, how are Sarah, Bruno, and Zach still in the house together for the last 4 out of 5 weeks? It seems like one of them is the target, but somehow other people get caught in the firing line first. Is it because of the twists? What do you think? How are Sarah, Bruno, and Zach all still there, Rochelle?
Well, as I said, things change very fast in our house. So, I mean, they're good social players, so they're pretty good at convincing people, oh, this person's there, this person. But I don't really know how they're still there. I mean, the twists definitely have a very large part to do with it because there seems to be twists every week. So, yeah, twists kind of screw things up. And, I mean, people want exciting, like, big players in the show. So, I mean, it is good that there's some of them are still there because otherwise it'd just be all these, like, kind of floaters still at the end of the show. We don't want that.
Because people want good TV?
People want good TV. Yes, they do.
Rochelle, is it true? Is that what people want?
Yeah, it is true, and Sabrina did deliver good TV.
But is that accurate that is what people want?
What, good TV?
Yes. Do people really want that?
Of course they do.
I want you to say supposedly.
Supposedly?
Yeah.
You want good TV? Does everybody want good TV?
They didn't show it.
Yeah, supposedly.
They didn't show it, but I was actually sitting right next to her when she was yelling that, and I was just like, I was so used to Sabrina's antics that at the time, like, it didn't even faze me what she was saying, and that it was so dramatic because she was always so dramatic. But then watching it on TV, I bet if they showed my face, like, I just looked so like, oh, this is usual Sabrina.
Rachelle, do people from Big Brother Canada 2 still talk to Sabrina?
Most people we've had a falling out with a few people from our cast due to outside of Big Brother things.
Okay,
Sabrina,
who fell out? Sabrina?
Sabrina, Kyle Shore.
Oh.
Those are the main two, yeah.
Why did Kyle fall out?
Well, me personally, I never got along with Kyle. He was very rude to me on the show. He called me a bad girlfriend and, like, mean words, so I never really liked him. And then after the show, he would go on web shows and bash all of us and would call Netta really rude things for no reason, and me really rude things, and, like, a lot of our cast really rude things. So our cast just really isn't fond of him because he outwardly bashes us all over social media. So,
okay, so he fell out. Who else fell out?
Mostly just him and Sabrina. I mean, there's some people that were evicted early that we're not as close with, such as, like, I'm not really that close with Paul, but
Did Paul fall?
I mean, like, we're still cool with Paul. Like, if we saw Paul out, or, like, we'd still be like, hey, Paul, like, what's up? Like, Kyle, I'm like, stay away from me. I don't want to see you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a few more questions. This is from Chocolate Chuck. Who would Rochelle showmance with in season 2 if she had to? All right, if you had a gun to your head.
Season 2 or season 3?
Season 2.
Oh, easy, Kenny. But then I found out he was gay.
Yes, that's a problem.
But I loved him, so and with me not knowing.
Look, if you loved him, then love can overcome anything.
Yeah, well, I had a boyfriend, so I didn't really love him. It was just like a crush. But yeah, if I didn't know he was gay, definitely Kenny.
All right, what about season 3? Season 3.
Obviously Kevin.
Who's that? Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, I have such a crush on Kevin, but.
Do you hear that, Pilar? If you're watching this one day.
I know I'm gonna be fighting her.
Watch out. Watch out for Rochelle. Okay, this is from a mile away. What's Godfrey's best bet to get to the end of the game? Are you a Godfrey gal?
You know what, Godfrey, I think, like, a lot of the fans, like, he has grown on people so much. I think he is absolutely hilarious, and he's playing the game. Like, he's one of the few that I would be happy if he won the money.
Okay, all right. I'm a Godfrey guy. I like Godfrey, the Godfrey guy. All right, Caroline Holler says, how likely is it that Ashley could be sending Zach home this week That would make the third time someone's closest ally sends them home in Jordan and Willow. Do you think there's a chance where Ashley ends up sending home Zach this week?
I think 100%. I mean, with this twist, like most likely, well, one person is for sure going to go up, and two, and I think that either Sarah or Britt has a good chance of being the person that puts up the people, and they're obviously going to put up Zach. And I mean, Ashley wouldn't actually be putting him up, but it would be pretty funny.
It would be funny. Is there a chance, Taryn, that you could see that happening?
Oh, I think it's I think the person that's going to get the powers has to be either Sarah, Godfrey, or Britney, and all three of them would target Zach, I think. So unless Zach wins the veto, I think he's 100% gone this week.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God. What a twistos twist.
Twistos twist, another one this week.
Rachelle, is it true that you got a lifetime supply of Twistos when you went on Big Brother Canada?
This is 100% true.
Wow.
Good old Twistos.
Wow, that's amazing.
Lucky us, hey?
All right. Zachary Zarnett Klein says, question for Rachelle. Why is it that guys can win comps and not get targeted, but if a girl even wins one, they become some big threat? This happened with you, Ika. It looks like it's happening to Britt. Why is that? Is there a double standard?
Oh, thank you to the person who wrote this question. I forget your name.
Zachary Zarnett Klein.
Thank you. Yeah, I got called a comp threat throughout the whole rest of my game after I won my HOH. They're like, oh, gotta send Rachelle home before Sabrina. She's such a comp threat. She's gonna win every endurance competition. I won one competition, and it happened to be like, we had like not very many endurance competitions on our season, and so the only endurance competition we did have, I won. So they were convinced that if there was another endurance competition, I was gonna win, and like it was just so silly. And it is so true. Like Kevin, who won like so many competitions, he was still under the radar. No one really was like, oh my God, Kevin's such a comp beast. Like it's annoying, and it's so true. The girls get the double standard going on, and I don't know why.
Oh my God, Taryn, Rachelle got very worked up.
Yeah.
she's
Makes
a comp beast. Were you happy when Will was the ketchup bottle, and would you thought that would make a good compliment to your hot dog costume?
You know what? I really did like that because I actually loved wearing my hot dog costume, and she embraced the ketchup too, which was awesome. Like I love when people embrace their costumes, so I was happy with that. What I don't like though is that Keely and Ashley's name are the Goblins. I think that is so cool.
Yeah, what did they give themselves that nickname, or did Godfrey give them that nickname?
Godfrey said, oh, you guys should be the Goblins because of the Gremlins last year. I'm like, why don't you come up with another name? You guys aren't even similar to the Gremlins.
But you fell out with Sabrina. Why do you care about the name of what you were with her?
It was still my alliance name, and I still think that people should be original, you know? It's a new season, it's a new game, it's new people. Come on.
Well, I heard that Sabrina gave Godfrey the go-ahead to go with Goblins.
Maybe she's going behind my back. I know, we're not the best friends anymore, so who knows?
All right, let's do two more questions. This is from Jason Mason. Who says, do you think that the house guests thought anything of the crowd's negative reaction when Bruno saved Zach? Yeah, so, all right, this is a good question. So when you guys are in the house, and like there's a big pop in the audience one way or the other, like when Bruno saved Zach, well, can you take anything away from that? Like, oh. It also happened in the eviction episode when the last person, did Cindy go last and she voted to evict Jordan? Or was it Bobby? I'm not sure exactly.
It was Bobby.
Bobby went last, and then he voted to evict Jordan, and the crowd went nuts. Can you hear the crowd?
Yeah, you definitely can. When Arissa is talking to us, you can hear the live audience because she's pressing a button that enables the sound to come in. So we hear very short amounts because they cut it. But we definitely would, like, after the concept we heard it, we would analyze it. We would analyze it for hours. We'd be like, oh, they booed her. They must not like her. Oh, they cheered for her when she won. So I mean, like, you definitely analyze it, and you kind of take it as, oh, did the crowd like you or not? And it stresses you out, because if you don't think Canada likes you, it freaks you right out.
Yeah. So if you did something and Canada booed that you did it, what would be going through your head?
Oh, I'd be like, oh, Canada hates me. You would cry, probably. Like, just, like, it's you want, like, when you're in there, you really want Canada to like you, and you have no idea how you're being portrayed. Like, I had zero idea, but so it's just like that's all you can go by, really.
Okay. All right, let's do one last question with Rachelle. This is from Soren Crane. Power rankings. Who's in the best position? Who's in the worst? Rachelle, who's going to win Big Brother Canada 3?
Okay, I think that Zach has in the best position right now. Other than Zach, I would say Bruno. I think Zach has a little bit better of a chance just because he has Ashley, he still has Bruno, he has Peely, he has all these people that are just like listening to his wrath and like soaking it all in and giving him all this information. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how Zach's still here, but I think Zach's in the best position. The worst position in the house? Oh, I mean, Sarah's right now, I mean, without this twist is going to be huge, but right now, before the twist, Sarah's in a pretty shitty position right now, I would say. I think Peely's going to just float on by for a while, which, I mean, whatever. I don't think
she'll be in the finals no matter what.
What? Yeah.
There's no chance Peely will not be in the finals on finale night.
Crazy. It's like $20,000.
Boom.
I think Britney could steal her spot, I think.
No, well, Britney comes alive. Britney comes alive. She she goes into hibernation, but then she comes alive and she's like has like moments of greatness, and then she goes like back into hibernation.
I don't know, maybe it's her strategy. But Britney was I got last pick from my pool. We have a Big Brother pool, and I somehow got Britney, and she's still in the game, and I hope she comes second, and somehow I get money.
All right. Well, I hope so too, Rachelle. I hope it all works out for you.
Thanks.
You get money. All right. So finale night. I'm sure there's something big planned. What are you guys doing?
Okay, so not next week, but the next week is actually Adele from my season's wedding. So a lot of the cast is coming and staying at my house, and we're going to Adele's wedding because he lives in Edmonton. And then we're all hopping on the same flight. And everybody's
going except for Sabrina?
No, it's me, and then Allison's coming, Sarah's coming, John.
Is Kyle going to be there? I heard and Kyle was going to say the prayer.
Oh. I don't think Kyle's coming, but it could be a surprise. It could be.
I don't know. He learned the prayer. I thought that was just to say on special occasions like this.
Yeah, it's very true. But yeah, so then we're all hopping on the same plane to go straight to Toronto for the finale. So that's going to be a crazy plane ride. I feel bad for everybody else on it because we're going to be having some fun celebrating. And then we get there, we celebrate, we go to the finale, we get to see who's crowned winner. And then all of season 1, 2, 3, whoever can come, we hop on a bus and we go to Niagara Falls and we party.
Oh my God, Tara, could you imagine being on a plane with all the lunatics from Big Brother and partying going to the finale?
I'd be really paranoid that someone is trying to backstab me
yeah.
the whole time.
Yes. And then going to Niagara Falls. Wow, what a week. That's like a spring break.
It's so much fun. We did it last year, and it's really fun.
Yes, and you'll let everybody come, even the people that didn't make the jury?
Yes, even them, even those are invited.
You guys don't discriminate.
No discrimination there. There's still people.
And if Kyle wants to come, that he's not allowed?
You know what? Kyle is coming.
Oh, he is coming. All right. So but nobody's gonna talk to him. What about Paul? Is Paul taking the bus ride with you guys?
I don't think Paul's coming. I could be mistaken, but from what I heard last, he was a no. Okay. So I'm not sure what Kyle's planning on doing. Maybe he's planning on some destruction of all of us or something.
Okay. All right. Well, that should be a fun week. You guys know how to party. All right. So, Rachelle, what is your Twitter handle? It's BBCAN3 Rachelle. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. Rachelle, yes.
Okay. BBCAN3 Rachelle. Of course, Taryn is going to be tweeting. Only 2.5 weeks left. Do you have plans for what you're going to do once the feeds shut off?
I'm going to sleep.
Sleep. Okay. All right. He is at Armstrong Taryn. I am at Rob Cesternino. We've got so much coming up here. We'll get into the amazing race here in a little bit, and then I'm going to spend about the next 4 days interviewing people that are going to be going back on Survivor. Some people, if you go like on Big Brother Canada, you get to do fun stuff like go to Adele's wedding and go to the finale and go to Niagara Falls. And then for me, you get to get locked in a room for the next 4 days. I'm like, have not, and I'm just going to be sitting here talking to people on Skype who are trying to get back on Survivor.
Yeah, but at least it's kind of fun, right?
It's fun. No, it's very fun. I already did one, talked to Teresa T-Bird Cooper. Later on tonight, I'm going to be speaking with Jim Rice, and then I've got 3 or 4 more interviews lined up for Saturday. I've got 5 or 6 lined up for Monday and Tuesday each. So a lot of these interviews are going to be dropping. So much to do. Thank you so much, Rachelle. Thank you, Scott,
Thank you.
for all the questions, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.